Hello and welcome to this webinar, Thinking about Selling Your Accountancy Practice. Avoid these 5 costly but common mistakes. This is who I am, and you can see my experience. I've been in the accountancy practice field in various ways for a number of years. It's over 25 now. Wow, where does the time go? Why do mistakes matter? I'm sure you appreciate that it's for most of it's going to be the sale of one of your largest assets after your house, and there is of course an emotional element to it as well. The first mistake is misunderstanding the market. Remember, the market sets the value, not you. So it doesn't matter how much you want or you may need to retire, the value is the value. Buyers, of course, are well informed, and this is something quite important, that the value lies in the fees, the recurring nature of the fees, not the clients. Slavery was abolished in 1832, I believe, in the United Kingdom. There is a value in non-recurring fees as well. It's not quite the same as recurring fees, but there is value there. Current values, typically 0.8 to 1.2 of gross recurring fees. That's been fairly much like that in that range for a number of years now, in spite of the fact that demand outstrips supply, and it will vary according to regions. The southwest, Scotland, will command less, and it also depends on things like the condition of your practice, and I do not refer to the wallpaper. It's whether you have a well-oiled machine and a happy ship. Secondly, it's not being prepared. Are the cobbler's children going barefoot? We often find accountants behind with their own record keeping. If a buyer is going to say to you, "Can I see your list of clients?" It's no good saying, "Well, come back in a week, I'll make it for you." These things should be more or less to hand. How much the clients are paying, what you do for them, what the client's business line is. Are your own accounts up to date? VAT returns filed on time? But leasing and rental details need to be available. And staffing, how many of your subcontractors are true subcontractors? Is there a pay-as-you-earn issue? Next, about flexibility, or the problem is inflexibility. In terms, understanding the clawback period is usually 12 months, but in some circumstances it can go beyond that. How available are you going to be afterwards to help the new owner of your practice bed down? Payment profile. Are you going to be asking for too much up front? Are you going to want the practice paid for too quickly? Typically 12 months, 18, can be 24. There can be all sorts of profiles, but you may need to be flexible depending on your needs for selling. And if the buyer has concerns, don't just brush them aside. Listen, address them. And COVID, the aftermath of COVID. Do you need a larger office for safe working? Do you need a smaller office because your staff are working remotely or at home? And how many clients are not going to survive in the medium to long term? Next priority is failing to prioritize. What is an absolute necessity? What is nice to have? What can be jettisoned? In other words, you're not going to get it. Don't think about it. Have you got a deadline? Are you leaving the country? And remember the importance of staff and client welfare. That is a priority. All the clients be looked after to the same or better degree than you have done, and the staff who have, of course, powered the engine, which makes your practice worth something, and have client relationships and understand the clients. Are they going to be looked after? Now, this is an interesting one. The last one is refusal to use a broker. This is talking when you have a DIY deal, but it does work for a DIY deal. Even if you find your own buyer, it can pay you to engage a broker because you can hide behind the broker. It's like playing poker. They can't read your expressions because they have to go through your broker. And it's less confrontational when there's a sensitive moment of an issue in your practice. The broker can smooth things out a lot easier. And if you haven't found your own buyer, which most accountants haven't, go to the broker and the broker will find someone suitable. Hopefully the broker will have pre-vetted them like we do, a little bit of understanding of them. And the broker will often, as we do, get the buyer to pay. So it's not even going to cost you anything. So there you have it. If you want to find out more, have a free, no obligation chat. Remember that it's never too early to have a chat about selling your practice because it can take time to fix things. Call me, here's the phone number, or you can email me.